I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that my friends can't find work. I'm frustrated that there's so many opportunities out there I don't know where to start. I'm frustrated that I just can't seem to get everything I want to get done. I write down my goals, I look at it on paper every day, and I think, oh my God, how am I supposed to do all these things? This path that was promised to us, the traditional path of graduating high school, going to college, getting good grades, and getting that job. That no longer exists. This path forward of a linear checklist that we just check off is increasingly fragmented and not there. We have all these different opportunities in front of us, but this old path that we've been told by our parents, by our teachers to follow, is leading to 50% of college graduates under the age of 25 are either unemployed or underemployed. Underemployed meaning that their job that they have does not require the education that they got. Today, this is what employers are looking for. Wow. Overwhelming, isn't it? How am I supposed to do all these things? How am I supposed to get all these different opportunities done in the same amount of time that my predecessors had just to get those 3 simple things done? How am I supposed to go about navigating my life? What you need is intentionality. You need to be intentional about what you do. Not just identify the different things you want to do, but be intentional about how you go about doing them and why you're doing it. Because today, lifestyle strategy is just as important as how well you do in the things that you do. How will you go about doing them? My talk today is on this idea I'm going to call stacking. And we're going to use a local example as our kind of case study. So this is Nick Decker. Nick is a graduate from The Ohio State University, and he started a blog called Breakfast with Nick that's been very successful, and he's actually made a book and been featured on a lot of local blogs, national blogs, and television spots. So let's look first at this matrix here. So on the y-axis, we have results, and on the x-axis, we have effort. So if you can see, here are Nick's skills and passions charted here. As you can see, they're very different. They're a wide array of things. And if Nick was to approach each and every one of these things as a separate initiative, you know what would happen? It just wouldn't work. There's too many things there. Just like the checklist we saw before, there's too many opportunities and passions and skills to do at once. We don't have more than 24 hours in a day. So how do we do this? How do we combat this? How do we exist in this new normal? Well, I'm going to propose this idea of stacking to you. So here's kind of, we look at Nick's stack. So Nick is going to take his passion. So he has a passion for being a small business advocate, acting as a tour guide for breakfast food and preserving memories. And he's going to take his skill sets of being a historian and his writing and speaking skills, and he's going to turn those into one initiative. And that one initiative is his blog, Breakfast with Nick. So by creating this one hub for all his passions, leveraging his skill sets, and hitting multiple goals with the same blog, he was able to use most of his blog to write his book, and he was able to use that as a platform to go do new things. Nick was able to stack his initiatives in a way that he's not overwhelmed, because the one thing that he's doing meets all his strategic goals and objectives. Combine your passions and skills into one project. Look at your responsibilities. Look at the different goals that you have. Write them down on Post-it notes and understand, how might I turn them into one? I was speaking with Jordan, one of your previous speakers earlier, about what is she doing next with her project. So she's planning on taking all the interviews that she had with all those social entrepreneurs and change makers and making a documentary. But not only is she doing that, she's leveraging this for coursework at college that count towards her minor. And then she's also leveraging the connections she made at TEDx Marion Correctional to help do the work for the project. So she's taking all her different passions and things that she's working on and turning it into one project so she can scale herself in a very productive and interesting way. So my challenge to all of you is to think, how might I identify everything I'm working on, everything I want to do, and then instead of saying, okay, how am I going to get it all done? How am I just going to work 20 hours a day and try to chase all these opportunities? How might I do an independent study of your course work at college, and then use that as an opportunity to go forward and do some research, or go and start your company, or go and do change? How might you leverage friendships that you want to work with people, and work with an opportunity with your friends, and do something different? Leverage synergies. Don't just chase individual initiatives. So I dare you, what's your stack? And how are you going to live your life intentionally? Thank you.